Well, he denies it. Look, he denies it. I mean, if you look at what is really going on.
Exactly.
It's so hard. It's hard to know where real truth lies. And he's certainly not saying.
Right.
And he's not telling it. So.
And we've never gotten the whole truth. It's not like this is the first time we've been sitting around getting lies.
Truth. Right there is truth.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing that I noticed that a lot, especially in the past couple of years, and it's the way our society is created right now, where, I think a lot of people were trying to do a lot to change that, but it's almost so hard just to make it that we've grown cold. We've grown, well, I can't worry about you and your problems because I need to pay rent, I need to be able to afford groceries, I'm trying to afford my education, and the list goes on, and it gets so overwhelming that people are forgetting that we're all a team.
Well, if you have to think about that, though, that's America.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you look
absolutely.
at the countries where happiness is more prevalent, and you'll see a more connected society.
Well, we need people so anxiety-ridden here with, like, debt and healthcare and shooting people. Like, we've created, all of us, really, we've conjured this man who is the representation of everything that we have done.
And so they're sitting there reciting a rhetoric towards something they actually aren't living, and they don't even know it, you know?
Because most of those people have been mind-fucked into believing some bullshit. They don't even know if it's true. And so my compassion for them lies in there. Like, okay, you actually really don't know this is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really get that.
Well, and who we are isn't made by our constant successes. It's made by all of the...
Where we go with our failures.
Yeah.
Every day I fall on my fucking face.
I mean...
Every day.
I was trying to say, that's
like,
so scraped up.
Like, but that's made me who I am. It's made me figure it out. It's...
Yeah.
You know, and it's...
Well, it's also the power of making, like, the choice, right? Like, at some point you're like, okay, well, in order to figure this out, I have to
have a baseline of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be grateful for the moment I'm in, for the breakfast I'm having, for the beautiful view out my window, which, by the way, is art. And, you know, and just to look out the window. If you marvel at your view, whether you're in Trump Tower or in the Hudson Valley countryside, it's all art, right? A city light, a forest. You have to be grateful for that. You have to break it down. And for me, I have to start there, because that's laying my foundation of being, I think, what will become a greater thinker. Would be to be a grateful human being, and that gratitude I can pass to you, or I can pass it to you, and you can wonder, where does that light come from? And then we can engage in a different dialogue, and that should, I'm hoping, give me more energy. And then I'm thinking beyond me, right? That's taking me out of, oh my God, I've got to go to work, I've got to go pay the bills, I've got to take care of these obligations, which keeps me tunnel visioned, and I don't see that my friends or my family or my parents are falling away.
Right.
I'm so focused like this. If I'm more grateful, I'm having to see out more.
It's a quarter in my neighbor's meter. It's one more step. It's volunteering instead of getting paid. Whatever it is, but it's one little thing that's not going to kill you, that's going to change somebody else's day.
It's creating a greater community.
Which is art. I mean, in the country's at that spot, it's, do we follow the darker path? Do we get on this guy's team and get on board? Or do we form our own place? Do we cultivate the love? Do we take this situation and bring something new and lighter to it and make something better and maybe actually great for the first time?
I'm so grateful for the arts. I'm so grateful for theater specifically. It isn't frivolous. Art's not frivolous. Theater isn't frivolous. A play isn't frivolous, because it reaches in and it touches our humanity, and we don't get the level that it goes. We never really get to see it. You don't see it as a designer or an actor every day when an audience member leaves. You don't see how that touches their life, or in the life of my quiet, withdrawn child. who started to ask why. Because he was asking his questions about humanity, and he was coming out of a world we couldn't touch to ask those questions. Now he's become a playwright, and he asks those questions. He makes us dig deeper. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that he was born with a disability. People have said to me over and over again, they've said, wouldn't you have wanted him to be normal? And I've said,
It wouldn't be him.
He wouldn't be him. We wouldn't be the family that we are if he had been quote unquote normal. Because he had disabilities and because he was glued to my side at work in the theater, he became a greater person. I think he will reach out with his stories and touch humanity in a brand new way. But because he was born quote unquote not normal, I got a daughter who is active as a therapist and works with autistic kids, works with homeless people, has now, because of her brother, devoted her life to that. I have another son who became a preacher. And he, I believe, is a radical-minded preacher because he believes that God loves everyone. And that you have to walk a mile in another person's shoes. So I am grateful that this single mom had the arts, that I got to raise these dynamic, amazing people to give to the world.